God created the universe just to have fun. Just because being infinite and immortal and timeless and being made of pure mind, pure infinite consciousness, you need to understand that God is an infinite mind that is dreaming all of existence, okay? So this is practically important for you to remember when you're feeling a little bit stuck in your life, a little bit lost, a little bit too serious, maybe you're feeling a little bit too attached, like things are too important and you can't make any progress because you keep self-sabotaging yourself. You're just taking things too seriously generally in your life. You become needy, you become attached, all of this, okay? So this is a perspective that's important that I learned through a lot of trial and error that I feel guided to sort of share with you today. So the idea is the idea of Leela. Leela. What is that? Leela is this term from Hinduism, this idea of the divine play. Why did God make the universe? And when I say God, I don't only mean like a bearded man sitting in the clouds. I more so mean like the source of infinity within your heart, who you are. So when I'm talking about God, I'm not talking about something out there. I'm talking about something inside with you and around you, and everything is God, okay? Your phone is God, okay? Your hands are God. Your eyes are God. Your consciousness is God. God generates the universe through its own dream, its own consciousness, okay? What is physical reality? If you think about it, if you look around, physical reality is just a hardened, solidified form of consciousness. Everything around you had to be thought by someone. Someone had to think it before it existed. So God is a creative mind. God is your imagination. God is you. Everything about you, if you really think about it, is imagined. Your personality, your character quirks, even your name. People don't realize some things like your name. It's just a sound. Someone made it up. That's why when you're conceived, right? When your parents have sex, right? Or maybe you're conceived through in vitro fertilization, whatever it is, right? You're conceived. What is that? Conceive, to think, to conceive. I conceived of an idea. So you were conceived. You were made up. Do you understand? And not for no reason, by the way. It's important to understand you exist for a very important and beautiful reason. Very important and very beautiful you are. Extremely, okay? So important and beautiful you are. As I'm about to cross the road here, should I keep going straight? Yes, I should. Give me 1 second. Sometimes when I cross people, I get a little nervous of my talking. Anyways, that wasn't such a big deal. Look at me making such a big deal out of it. So where were we? Yes, you're extremely important and beautiful, okay? Without you, infinity is incomplete. You actually, the purpose of your existence is you're actually helping God, which is you. You're helping God fully experience and enjoy its full majesty, its full glory. And that's you. You are helping God fully experience what it actually means to be infinite. Okay, so infinity, we can get into the philosophy of infinity. It's gonna bog down the video a little bit, so I want to keep it a little bit light and airy today. I've went into the philosophy of infinity in other videos, such as how God creates reality, but infinity is like it's imagination. The only thing that is infinite and unbound is the mind, the imagination. It can think anything. It's infinite. Consciousness is infinite. Okay, it's like it can create without expending resources. It's just like a thought, you just think it is there. There's no, you don't have to expend resources, okay? So it's kind of sort of like the universe is extremely efficient, okay? It's like infinitely efficient. It's a little bit philosophical we're getting here, okay? So we're gonna make this practical and relevant for you, but it's important for you to remember that consciousness, you, which is your mind, which is infinity, just literally, I just fell off my skateboard, literally just wants to experience the aspect of infinity that is you specifically. You're so beautiful. You're so amazing. You're so, like, everything about you, your personality, your likes, your sense of humor, the things you like, the things you don't like, your taste, right? Just the way you are, the way you stand, the way you walk, what you think about, your interests, your passions. I know you're a multi-interested, multi-passionate person, just like all of us. So you are actually helping God explore its own passions, which is love. Passion is another word for love. So you're helping God love itself more and to appreciate and love itself. So I'll give you an example. When I was younger, not a lot of people know this about me. I took up this hobby of yo-yoing. I remember I had no toys when I was a kid. My parents would always ground me and take away my electronics. Apparently I was misbehaving or something, which isn't too difficult to conceive, because I do misbehave very frequently. I'm not a good rule follower. So I remember I went to the dollar store with my mom and I had no toys. My mom would just take me shopping with her. I'd always be so bored out of my mind. I was like, Mom, can I have this yo-yo, please? So it was like $1. She's like, okay, sure. Shut up, right? Leave me alone. So she gave me this yo-yo, and I ended up like becoming a yo-yo expert. Actually, there was this website called yoyoexpert.com back in the day. Maybe it's still up. I don't know. I gotta check. Yo-yo expert with an X, no E. And there's all these tutorials, and I basically just fell in love with yo-yo tricks. I learned all the tricks, the sleeper, the trapeze, double or nothing, walk the dog, but then I learned like really advanced tricks, like ladder escape. If you Google yo-yo tricks ladder escape, that's like probably one of the most difficult tricks that I can do. Or like spirit bomb. These are like awesome yo-yo tricks, right? So I love yo-yoing. I'm actually extremely passionate about it. I gotta like cross this road here, but the light's red, so we're just gonna stand here. I fucking love yo-yoing. I'm passionate about it. I think it's so cool. So, but you gotta understand, God can only experience the coolness of infinity, which one of the aspects of infinity is yo-yos, right? There's all different kinds of yo-yos. They have different ball bearings, different, spinning systems. They have different shapes, so that some of them are more agile and nimble. Other ones are better at catching the string. They're made of different materials, right? Some of them are made of metal, plastic, in different positions, different weight distribution, right? There's different kinds of strings, right? There's kind of like lubrication for the bearing and so forth, right? So there's just this is what it means to experience infinity, is like to just be alive and to be passionate about life, about the things that you do, to love something. That's the point of being alive, is to love everything you do, to love your music, to love the food that you eat, to love your relationships, the people that you talk to, etc. I gotta wait. I'm crossing the road here. There we go. Gotta try not to die, guys. Be safe. Be safe out there. God will protect you only if you protect yourself sometimes. You gotta watch out. Oh. Be aware. Okay. So how did I get the idea for this video? Yeah, there was this song, this like African boy sang this song. It's like, Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. So the purpose of existence is literally just to enjoy the beautiful day that is here today. You don't understand this. No, Adam, no, I can't. I have to worry. You haven't seen my bank account, Adam. I would love to, just because like your fucking mind is so conditioned and so bitter and so pissed off at everything that you get like scared and you get angry. Adam, fuck you. How privileged are you, fucking asshole? How dare you say that I should enjoy the beautiful day today? You know, you piece of shit. You know, people are like offended that I'm talking about like being happy in the present moment, and I'm trying to remind you that, listen, if you want to be pissed off and angry, that's fine too, because that's actually part of infinity. So God even loves the fact that you're like forcing yourself to do shit that you hate, or, you know, afraid all the time and so forth, right? So there's this like sort of quality, but I'm telling you, you don't have to like spend so much time suffering in the lower realms of fear and shame and hating yourself and being embarrassed and angry and sad and craving and lacking what you desire. So there's some like amount of time that you should spend in those lower realms. I actually encourage you to explore the lower realms, but to remind yourself to come back to love. So you can actually love the lower realms. So like, for example, like watching a horror movie, but actually enjoying it, you know, like enjoying like, oh shit, this is a horrible vibration, right? I feel terrible, right? So you got to be really careful with your consciousness. You got to be careful what you let into your consciousness as well, because there is such thing as cause and effect. It's very important to remember. You can't just be all like willy-nilly with like, oh, I'll just eat whatever food I want, or I'll just watch whatever movie I want, or I want to watch a Serbian film, right? Which is this like horrible, it's like a horror porn. It's like the most, I've never watched, I will never watch it, because I don't want disgusting imagery in my mind, like on that level, okay? In the same way, I don't want disgusting, gross stuff in my body, like food-wise, okay? So I'm just saying, you know, you can eat whatever you want, you can watch whatever you want, you're free. Very important. God is not judging you, okay? You are God. You are free to explore your passion. You're free to explore what you love right now. That's all God wants you to do. So whenever you feel lost in your life, oh, Adam, I'm having a shit day, I feel so stuck, I don't know how to get what I want. Okay, so remember, all you wanted when you came to Earth from the beginning was Leela. Leela, she's so sexy, you sort of like, lick her, you know, like a fucking ice cream. Leela, what does that mean? Leela is just the divine play. That's all you wanted when you came to Earth. That's it. So I think of, like, for example, when I go out on my hikes to the forest, or when I go for my skateboards or whatever it is, but like when I'm going in the forest, I'm thinking of like just everything, just enjoying the present moment. Like, you know how fun it is to just be on a skateboard and just ride as I'm recording? It's a fun experience. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying being alive right now. This is one of the experiences that I'm allowed to have, and it's great. You know, like the point of life is to actually do what you enjoy now. Follow your passion now. So I've actually made other videos I think at some point I'm going to create some sort of like intro course, like a free little intro, maybe like a little step-by-step thing in the description. I'll figure that out. I'll just make it really simple and not too pretty. Sometimes I just gotta make things and yeah, so whatever. I don't want to like it. I'll make it when I feel like it, when I feel like it's fun for me, okay? Because this is my hobby and I don't want to turn it into a fucking job. But yeah, follow your highest excitement. I've made other videos about it. I have videos coming out about it. I must have made a bunch of shorts about it. I'm sure if you Google Adam Miceli highest excitement, you might find 1 or 2 pieces of content about that subject, okay? So what that means is you actually have to follow like what you love now, because that is how you love existence. Whew. If you want to make love to life. So your ultimate goal, if you really think about it, I'm a guy, right? So most of my day is actually spent just like thinking about sex. I don't know if anyone can relate to this. Maybe I'm the only one, right? I remember I was on a meditation retreat, right? On like this 10-day retreat. I was talking to my teacher. Sometimes your teacher, you'll have interviews once a day just to like tell them like what's going on in your mind as you're doing these practices, right? So on one of my retreats, I told my teacher, I was like, yo, I kind of just think about sex the entire time. Like, is that okay? Right? Like, he's like, oh yeah, I guess it's fine. You know, without that, there wouldn't be any other humans running around. So it's completely normal to have sexual desire. I was like, okay. Because it's a little bit, so it's kind of a lot, right? I'll just spend like hours just like fantasizing about sex. So like, for the longest time, I would judge myself. There was a guilt, myself, shame myself. But as I got older, first of all, I learned to like stop like blowing my life energy out in the form of masturbation. That's just something that I learned not to do, because it drains my energy and it makes me feel less powerful, right? Then I feel like I have to like fight so hard to be happy. But when you keep your sex energy and you're respectful with it, and you have fun with it, and you enjoy it in a way that feels sacred for you, right? It can still be dirty, right? You know, sacred doesn't always mean clean. It's this, you know, you can deify dirty parts of existence, right? If you love them. So love is the transmuting force, right? So if you love being dirty, right, then it just transforms into bliss, right? So every part of existence that you love just transforms into bliss. So there's no like rule set here. Of course, I'm not talking about hurting other people, encroaching on other people's boundaries, you know, causing them harm, murdering people, raping people. We're not talking about that, any of that kind of stuff, okay? Because that's not fair, if you think about it. It's not fair. You don't want anyone raping and murdering you. That doesn't feel good, right? That's a horrible feeling. So don't do it to other people. Okay, because life is like a mirror. It's like a boomerang. What you put out comes back. Comprendo. Remember that, okay? So the kind of energy you put out is what comes back. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to live as much of your day as possible in a state of, I love my life, and I do things that I love, and I enjoy being alive. I am God playing. That's it. When I'm working, I don't work too much. That's just me. I know other people like working. I'm not a worker, okay? I'm more of a, do whatever feels fun for me and help people when I can, or, I don't work. I play. Okay, that's me. You can do whatever you want. But people say, like, Adam, but how do you make money? Dude, people literally fucking pay me thousands of dollars because I play. I've had many clients reach out, say, yo, dude, I really like your energy. I saw your videos. You seem to be having a lot of fun, you know, I'm kind of lost and sad and depressed and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm fucking completely lost. Oh, you also read hundreds of books and you know, been on many retreats and you know a lot about all different subjects and areas of existence. Whoa, let's work together. I'll pay you. You know, you can guide me, right? So that's how I make my money for now. There's also a lot of different ways that I make money as well. Like I'm doing some clothing design and just all this kind of, just doing what's fun. Like I'm designing clothes. I'm releasing a, you know, I'm not supposed to share this, but there's like a couple t-shirts that I've designed. There's different ways, different things, different kinds of helping, all sorts of different ways, right? So what I'm saying is, when you're actually loving and enjoying and relaxing and not making things so important, remembering the divine play, stop making things so important. Keep it chill, keep it fun. Once I was on a meditation retreat again, and my teachers, they're husband and wife, right? So I was talking to the husband. It's like 4 or 5 days into a retreat, you know, all the dark and all the difficult stuff comes up, right? So I'm talking to my teacher, and I'm like, oh yeah, well this is happening, and what about this, right? And my female teacher walks in, and she's like, oh, sorry, I'm not interrupting anything, am I? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, no, like heavy stuff happening here, right? I'm like, no. She's like, good, keep it light, keep it light. Keep it light, it's good, right? So that's like a little mini teaching from her there, right? You know, the masters, they can give you teachings without even you realizing it's a teaching until like a year later. It's like one little thing that they did, you know, it's like, oh, that's like a timeless teaching. You can just apply that in every moment, you know, like holy shit. Like a little it's called a pith instruction. Keep it light. You're good. It's okay. Not so serious. You're fine. You'll be okay. So sometimes you gotta let things go. So I'll give you another example. So this super weird thing happened with my website, okay? So I had this domain, miceli.com, right? So I go to renew the domain, and the renewal doesn't like clear, it doesn't go through. So I there's this weird thing happening on my bill where they're like charging me double or something, right? That was with Elementor, right? Don't go with them. They're scammers. Sorry. I had a sort of bad experience. I like their builder, but I don't actually like their pricing. Okay? It's always going up, and they're always removing features. But anyways, overall, you know, if you have it's pretty good, you know. Anyways, so I go to pay, my payment doesn't go through, so I contact support, and I'm like, hey, so like I paid my bill, but it's like not showing up on my thing. They're like, oh, just wait, or like just try again or something. I'm like, okay. So I just thought I'd wait a bit, right? So I waited a day or two. Next thing I know, my whole website's deleted. So I'm like, what? So granted, I probably could have paid the bill a little bit earlier, but still, like I paid it, it didn't go through. Anyways, long story short, my website's deleted, and then I'm like contacting support. I'm like, hey, so can I get my website back up, please? They're like, oh, like, you know, so we're sorry for the mistake, but you know, yeah, you can just buy a new plan, and then the new plans are like triple the price for like half the features, like I mentioned. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of a sign. Like, I don't know if I should like continue with this. So where was I going with this story? So yeah, so I just tried all these different ways to like force it to work, but it just wouldn't work. Like, no matter how hard I tried, it just wouldn't work. Like the domain was broken. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's really weird. So adamichelli.com, it's just down, and it's like, so I took it off the servers of Elementor and I just switched to providers. So I went to my other provider, and it doesn't work. It's really weird. I've been trying to fix it for like weeks, but it just like, it will not work. I don't know what it is. I've been working with like different customer supports and chat GPT, and we've been trying to figure this one out, and it's like it's getting picked up by this Cloudflare server for no reason. Anyways, I'll spare you the details, okay? But I know how, I've been running websites and stuff for like a few years, and I know how this stuff works, and this is like a really weird phenomenon that I've never experienced ever. I've never just like completely bricked a domain like this. Like it's really odd. So long story short, the reason why I bring this up is that like sometimes when shit hits the fan and when stuff stops working, you have to like just be okay with it and realize that there's probably some higher reason for this. There's probably some bigger benefit. So having my website deleted, for example, has actually given me a lot more clarity about like what I actually value in my life. Because I spent a lot of time sort of like finicking and toying with my website, and that was fun while it lasted, but I found that like that's really not the most important thing for me. That doesn't really give me that much enjoyment, always like updating and like working on this website thing. And I just realized it's actually more efficient for me to just like do what I love, focus on the more important things, right? So I was able to get a brand new domain, which I haven't got set up yet, but it's it's like an opportunity for a rebrand, because the one with my name is just bricked, so I gotta try something else, right? So it's just like an opportunity, and the reason why I bring this up is that you can't always force shit to work. Like if something is clearly just not working, no matter how hard you try, like this is a really odd situation, let me tell you, like it's not like a simple fix, it's just like it's really odd. Sometimes you just gotta like let it go and just kind of move in the next. You gotta trust there's like some higher purpose. You know what I'm saying? This is called the advantage method from Tufty the Priestess, my favorite book, one of my favorite books ever. Tufty the Priestess. That's a hidden gem right there. The advantage method. Yeah, there's a hidden advantage in that thing that's going wrong. Did you know that? All right. Yeah, so stop taking yourself so seriously and just do the maximum amount of fun. How can you maximize your fun? So I'm releasing a video soon. It's like over an hour long. You'll see it, right? It's a pretty good example of me just like completely following my highest excitement, including this video as well. But it's like, oh, it smells like fucking shit. What the fuck? Ew. Oh my god. There's always like rancid smells. Oh! Oh! Ugh. Yucky. Oh, who the fuck just like shit? Oh my god, I gotta like wipe my feet or so. Oh my goodness. Did I run over some shit? Let me check, 1 second. Gotta use my flashlight. No, that's just dirt. Okay. Oh my god, a bit of a shitty video we're making here today. 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, so I like when I like create content or whatever, like when I'm making a video, I'm doing this thing where I just don't hold back. I just go crazy mode. Like just do what, like not in this way where I'm harming people. I don't want to be completely like uncalibrated and make a fool of myself. But at the same time, it's like if I have this like passionate love that's in my heart and it wants to like go all the way, like it wants to just like fucking destroy existence, like to smithereens, like no prisoners, you know what I mean? It's like kill, like just kill, destroy, you know? No prisoners, like fuck you, right? That's why my highest teaching, the real versus fake spirituality video, the highest teaching in the universe, go fuck yourself. right? Not a lot of people like that one. Oh, Adam, you should take that one down. Oh no, right? Fuck you. That's the whole point of the video is fuck you. Fuck you, seriously. Like, seriously, fuck you. It's such a high teaching. It's so high people can't even reach it because it's so profound. Go fuck yourself. It's a deep and beautiful teaching. Okay? It's very important to understand. Just go fuck yourself. That's like the whole point. That's what I'm sharing in this video. When you're lost in your life, you don't know what you're doing, you're sad, right? Things are not going your way. Go fuck yourself. What does that mean? It means get over yourself a little bit. Like, there's so much importance. Right? So serious. Oh, I'm so serious. Oh my God. So what I'm sharing is that when I'm following my highest excitement, guys, this road is so smooth. Oh, it's so smooth. It's like, oh, the cars are gonna fucking hit me and I'm gonna die. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, thank God. Be safe, guys. Don't do what I do, okay? Hello? Don't hit me, please. Let's see if the car... That would be a weird video. Adam, go fuck yourself. Then I just die. That's what you get, buddy. I love it. You know, people find my phone after I die. The last video I made. Go fuck yourself. Right? It's a high and beautiful teaching. So when you follow your highest excitement in your life, you actually like enjoy being alive and you enjoy existence. And you don't take yourself so seriously. You just like create the art that you want to create. Or you just make love to life. You feel like you're alive and you just have fun and be alive, and that's your thing. Like you enjoy being alive, right? So everyone is unique. Everyone has a unique form of expression, and it's always not normal. It's always triggering. So by definition, being you by definition is not normal. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when I'm like creating videos or something, I've been doing this thing where I just like be honest about how I actually feel, and like I try to, but I also at the same time, this is very important, so important, what you're not understanding. I'm not just being honest from this place of like I fucking hate my life and everything's going wrong and my life is shit. What I do is, step one, I fill up my own cup with infinite love by doing various practices that I've been working on mastering for over almost 10 years now. So meditation, visualization, eating extremely clean and healthy, exercising, stuff like semen retention, you know, keeping my sex energy or using it in a way that I love and that I enjoy, that feels good and harmonious, following my highest excitement, you know, dancing, pumping up my vibration so that I feel full of love. I fill up my own cup with love, so I feel phenomenal and amazing, and I'm like literally in the state of being that is the most ideal version of myself. So I'm actually being the version of myself who's extremely happy and proud of being alive and just like feeling like $1 million, right? If I want to attract $1 million, you gotta feel like $1 million. That's why it's called that. What do you think? We just made up that saying for no reason? Check out these Christmas lights, guys. These are nice. Oh, I love Christmas. It's so nice because it gets so dark in Canada. And then people just like, that's so gorgeous. Good job, guys. Thank you for sharing that with me. That was so nice. Oh. Yeah. Ooh. So I fill up my cup with love by doing personal development. That's the key. Let me put these headphones on 1 sec. Fill up my cup with love, loving awareness, self-love, right? Taking care of myself, raising my vibration, relaxing, resting. positive, thoughts kind of vibes, right? So it's a little bit more complicated. The internal work, that's sort of like what I've been working on mastering for a long time. That's what I help my clients with, and that's what I help people with. There's a lot of different techniques and practices that I use to like keep my state in like a really high vibration. And then from that point, I just orgasm all day, and that's it. And that's my life strategy, right? Being the ideal version of myself and sharing. There's actually a great quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, the secret to success in life: number 1, work on yourself. Number 2, advertise. That's it. Number 1, work. He said work hard and advertise, right? But I'm gonna change that to fit me. So for me, it's more like, fill up my cup with beautiful energies and then just like explode in like loving orgasmic bliss in my videos, right? Or whatever I do. It's not just my videos, it's everything, like the way I do the dishes, the way I cook food, the way I explore and enjoy, right? All right. So I believe that's the video for today. I did have some other ideas that I want to share. Yeah. We'll keep it at that, okay? Take the long way. Whew. See, the problem is when there's a hill, you don't know if there's cars there, so you gotta move over lest you get his safety lessons without him. That's the video title. Yeah, okay, so let's summarize. So when you feel lost and stuck in your life, I gotta actually get off the road here. You gotta remember that the point of your life is to be fully yourself and to love existing. So the problem is you don't love existing because you keep falling asleep and you keep falling back into old patterns. You're basically functioning out of conditioning. You've been conditioned to function a certain way by society, by your parents, your upbringing, your friends, social media, whatever. So society has sort of like conditioned you to act, to think, to behave, to use your money in a certain way, to have sex in a certain way, to dress in a certain way. So you've been conditioned to eat in a certain way, right? Certain foods, right? You've been conditioned to be basically very not yourself, I think is a good way to say it. And in general, pretty unhealthy. So a lot of like societal conditionings and societal beliefs are just flat out bullshit. And if you hold them in your mind, you won't be happy ever. You'll just have everyone else's results, right? Which is like sad, lacking, confused, unfulfilled in their relationships and etc. The general populace, right, is not doing too well. So maybe that's not true. Maybe that's a limiting belief. I don't want to like speak that upon you. Maybe everyone's doing great, but you'd be surprised. So, 1 sec. So the reason why you don't get what you want in your life is because your mind is functioning with poor quality conditioning that doesn't actually like contribute to your overall happiness. And the problem is you don't know how to like systematically create a state of being that you actually love. Okay? This is so critical. You need to learn how to systematically create the state of being within your body that you actually love and enjoy. You like being the ideal version of yourself, because the way reality works is reality is like a mirror. Okay, so reality mirrors the energy that you give it. If you put on a certain mask, let's say you're putting on the mask of your ideal self. This is like identity shifting, okay? You pretend to be your ideal self, okay, the person you want to be. When you actually become that version, you walk like them, you talk like them, you dress like them, you think like them, you act like them. You do everything as your ideal self, and you have to do this consistently. This is one of the techniques. It's like method acting. This is like called identity shifting. You actually become who you want to be consistently. You have to remember, because the problem, like I said, is what keeps you stuck in your current reality is that your mind habits are perfectly wired to like keep your current reality. So if you look around you, right, your money situation, your living situation, this, your relationship situation, whatever it is, your health situation, that is literally just an external crystallization of your habitual vibration, your programming. All right, so when you look out at the world, you're just looking at your internal programming. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, because we like to victimize and blame and criticize. Oh, it's not me, Adam. It's actually society, or it's actually my living partner, or it's actually my girlfriend's fault, or it's actually the government's fault. It's not my fault that my life is the way it is. Well, that's one of those programs that'll just keep you stuck. So there we go. We just revealed one of the programs that'll keep you stuck. Just like blaming everyone else, not realizing that your life situation is your mental habits pushed out. Okay? I do have to pee, so you're gonna have to give me 1 second. We're gonna keep going on that one, okay? I got more to share with you, my friend. I do have to pee. Oh fuck, I just peed all over my fucking... Oh my god, what a horrible... Don't listen to me, guys. I just pissed all over myself. What a fucking mess. Okay. Guys, I think we're gonna go to the forest. I don't know if I have enough battery. I'm gonna get hit by this fucking car. Oh my god. Ugh. Gotta be careful, man. We're gonna try going to the forest. I'm gonna have a horrible... Oh! Okay. Yeah, we're gonna try going to the forest for a bit, because that's where my highest excitement is taking me. Hurry! Oh, I'm gonna die! Okay. I actually have a lot of fun living on the edge in this sort of way. I like when things are unpredictable and unexpected. That's sort of my flow state. Okay, So as we do a sexy turn around this car, and we try not to, I'm going to slow down. I get scared when I go too fast. Once when I was younger, I fell off my longboard, and I almost died, but my friend was there to help me. Okay. So yeah, I would like, I'm going to be sharing with you like a mental system that you can use. It's very influenced by the book Tufty the Priestess. So if you're curious to kind of like, you can't wait, go buy that book and check it out. But yeah, so it's a mental system that you can use to basically like habitually change your thought patterns and your patterns of focus, so that you can habitually and repetitively focus on being the version of yourself that you actually want to be, so that you can then put out the frequency that actually matches the reality that you want. Okay, so I know it sounds a little bit whack, but that's how life works, guys, okay? That's how it works. I've been working with clients on this subject for a few years. One of my clients was able to completely change her career because we were using some of these techniques, like the PLAT technique, for example, or the being your ideal self. She was able to completely leave this job that was giving her a lot of headache and difficulty. She was able to actually become the version of herself that was confident, to like stand up for herself. And it actually like allowed her to almost take charge in her job and in her company. And eventually it actually allowed her to leave and actually start her own business with her husband, where she is having a lot more fun because she can actually control her day, and she's like excited. She's like creatively inspired to like do all these cool things with her business. She's in tech. So yeah, that's just like one practical example of like this stuff works. Like when you shift your identity, you shift your vibration with various habits and internal practices, and you actually consciously create the reality that you want in your mind first. You have to consciously create your state of being. You consciously create the person that you want to be on a moment-to-moment basis. You actually have to wake up, remind yourself to be who you want to be now. Adam, I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do. You can. I just gave you a book recommendation. Okay? Like, you're supported. There's info out there. You know, you can... You don't know how to do it? Okay, learn. You can actually DM me on Instagram. I've been helping people who DM me. At some point, you may be able to like book a call with me or something like that. Sometimes, you know, when people book calls into my schedule, they can just book whenever they want. But I prefer if you like kind of DM me first, and we can like talk a bit and then book a call or something. But the point is, like, I can help you. Like, I help people with this stuff. So if you're confused, if you have a specific desire, like changing careers or attracting a partner, like recently, since I was following my highest excitement, I actually came to this exact area, which is very funny, this exact area that I'm telling the story. I was following my highest excitement. This was like maybe a few weeks ago. And I had split up with this girl that I was dating for a long time. We split up for a few months. Then I was like following I missed her a lot, to be honest. We missed each other. But I was just living my life. You know, I was being the version of myself that I want to be, which is happy. I was meditating. I was out in nature, enjoying the scenery, just following my bliss, having a great day, right? Just following my pure passion. And it's funny because I almost never skateboard this way, except for today, obviously, right? But I almost never skateboard this way because it's pretty far. But today at my highest excitement, this was like a few weeks ago, it just sort of like brought me here, you know? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go this way. Why not? Let's do it, right? That's kind of how I enjoy my days. I go explore. So I ended up all the way over here. I was enjoying the forest, and then I was just completely fully following my highest excitement the whole time. I did this long meditation, extra long. I don't normally do it like that. And then I just left the forest, and then synchronistically at the weirdest time, my ex, she actually saw me standing on that street corner over there waiting for the light to turn as I was leaving, and she actually ended up reaching out and texting me like, hey, I saw you, you know, because she was sort of waiting for the universe to give her a sign, like if we cross paths then we can, like, you know, talk again or whatever. So I'm just saying, so she saw me, right, because I was aligned with myself and she was aligned with herself, I assume. And now we've kind of like gotten back together, and it's actually been very nice, right? So that's just like a practical example of when you're aligned in your life, you actually synchronistically attract the experiences that actually allow you to more fully enjoy your existence. You can literally get examples of this right now. You don't even have to, like, you can start to see when you shift your vibrational frequency, following your highest excitement, doing things you love, using things like the Platt technique from Tufty the Priestess, or using the method acting technique, also from Tufty the Priestess, okay? Like identity shifting, okay? When you use these actual practices and you do them, you actually start to see your reality shift. You attract situations and people, you meet up with them in the right time, right? So reality is, since it's all God, so we're going back to what we started the video with, reality is a divine play. It's not only a physical system. Reality is mind. Do you remember we talked about that in the beginning? This is your reward for sort of sticking through my nonsense. It smells like sewer again. These interesting, funky smells. Holy. Since reality is made of mind, it actually makes sense that the number one thing you should be prioritizing is mastering your mind. This is like the epiphany that my first teacher gave me when I was 16, almost 10 years ago. when he told me, yeah, so if you like work on mastering your mind, then you'll just master your whole life and you'll be amazing and fulfilled, because your mind is made of everything. Everything is your mind. And I'm like, what? That makes a lot of sense. So then I just devoted 10 years to just mastering my mind, right? 20 retreats and hundreds of books and using all these techniques and strategies and all this, and I'm kind of sharing with you what works, okay, what works for me. But this is not only what works for me, this is what works in general, because I've worked with dozens of clients at this point. This stuff works in general. These are the general principles of existence. Right? I'm not notice how I'm not like speaking super specific technical advice. I'm giving general principles. This is why my videos are maybe a little bit different from other people's videos. I hope they're a little bit different. That'd be weird if there was someone who made the exact same video that I made. That'd be really weird. When you you use the techniques, they work. Okay, so if you want help with using the techniques so that you can see them work in your own life, you can actually attract situations. You could attract money-making opportunities. You can attract information that you need. When you shift your identity, you start to like attract certain information that you wouldn't have seen before. Like, for example, one of my mentors, Quasi Joe here, you might know him actually. He's a reality creation coach as well. I've been working with him for like a few years, and he told this story of like when he was like dropping importance, and he was like so obsessed with like making this certain revenue number in his business, right? He wanted to make $1 million, right? But what he did was he actually asked himself, like, is that what I actually want? And then he kind of let that go a little bit, right? Dropped importance, like we talked about in the video today. So Quasi uses basically just reality transurfing, Tufty the Priestess, and so some of the stuff that I talk about, right? So we're kind of on the same page with a lot of these ideas. He's like, oh, I'm gonna like loosen my grip a little bit, and I'm just gonna like allow reality to like give me guidance. So instead of working on growing his business, which wasn't very fulfilling for him in that way that he was doing it, he instead ended up like getting a lot of clients that were day traders. So then he started thinking to himself, like, well, if I'm going to work with all these day traders, maybe I should like learn day trading myself so I can like relate to them better. And then he like went to go get a haircut randomly, and then his barber was telling him that he's like great at day trading and he's making a lot of money. And then Quasi was like, what do you mean? How? And then his barber was like, oh, I've been trading options, right? And then Quasi was like, oh, can you teach me? And the barber was like, yeah, there's, I'll show you, right? So then Quasi started trading options, and he actually started making a lot of money pretty quickly because, first of all, he was a master of his mindset. So since he was already so good with his mindset, and he was a mindset coach for like many years, and he, used a lot of these like Tufty the Priestess kind of principles, reality creation kind of stuff, good stuff. Since he was doing that for many years, day trading was like the easiest thing ever for him, because the thing that like sabotages people when they're day trading is their own psychology, right? Taking bets when they're not supposed to, being greedy, right? Being too attached, too clinged on, right? So day trading is just a reflection it's a mirror, right? It's a reflection of your mind state. Just like the rest of existence, it's a reflection of your mind state. So what I'm saying is that since Quasi was following these principles, then he like was able to like attract this money-making information into his life that he wouldn't have been able to attract otherwise, because your reticular activating system in your brain, apparently this exists. Okay, this is a total like hearsay from me. I did not deeply study the anatomy of the brain to know how the reticular activating system works. This is hearsay, okay? Almost everything I say is based on direct experience. This science stuff about, how the brain works, I never looked at the brain. I don't know how the brain works, okay? So this is all alleged, okay? Allegedly, there's a reticular activating system in your brain that's basically like a filter mechanism. I'm sure this is real. I don't know exactly how it works. Right, I have to study it deeper. Probably like Joe Dispenza or something probably knows more about it. The reticular activating system of your brain is like a filter mechanism which allows or disallows certain information into your mind space based on what you've been like habitually focusing on. Basically, so when you program your mind with energy, so how does this work? So when you read a book, for example, like The Wisdom of Your Cells by Dr. Bruce Lipton, you learn that the way reality works, the way the human body works, is that your DNA is like a set of blueprints, okay? Your DNA changes the way that it expresses itself based on the environment that it's in. Okay, hear me out. Your DNA, your cellular expression changes based on its environment. So environmental factors, of course, include external physical environmental factors like the climate that you live in, maybe if you're exposed to many toxins or poisons, right? The type of food you eat. So of course those are going to affect your gene expression, right? But also, you also have an energetic environment as well. We know this when certain animals are like exposed to heavy like EMF radiation, then it messes up their gene expression. And their genes start, expressing weird things, like they can like grow a human ear on the back of a rat, or a fish in a polluted lake might grow 3 eyes, right? So if you put a cell in a toxic environment, the cell doesn't do well. But if you put the cell in a healthy environment, the cell thrives, okay? So now watch this. Your emotional state, your state of vibration, your state of being, your mood, is actually an environmental trigger that determines the expression of your DNA. Do you understand? So this is like epigenetics. So this is like pretty cutting edge science. Learn more about it. I have a book on my book list. It's called Wisdom of Your Cells. Okay, I got a lot of great books on my book list. You can go check that out. Link in the description somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. Hopefully there's a link in the description. There might not be. It's like a guessing game. So I don't know where the links are, but I know where the info is, okay? So let me tap back into the quantum space of where that idea was. Okay, wait 1 sec. Okay, there it is. Okay, so back in the Akashic records. So the idea, no, I'm just kidding. So the idea that I'm saying is that your mood and your state of being will. So you gotta understand, your body releases certain physical chemicals based on whether you're stressed out or not, right? So if you're really stressed, you'll release a lot of cortisol, right, and adrenaline. Cortisol and adrenaline are a little bit toxic, actually. It's actually, your liver actually has to like work extra hard to process that adrenaline, because adrenaline's really powerful for like helping you in a fight or flight state to like lift a car or like to, run really fast away from predators or whatever. But it also has this sort of toxic quality. It's also very acidic. So when you're constantly in like a fight or flight fear state, right, and you're also eating like a piece of shit diet because you have no fucking understanding of how diet works at all, because you didn't watch Adam's YouTube videos about it where he spent years studying it and he has the most advanced diet information on planet Earth by far, and you're just lost in like the diet soup where everyone's telling you to eat protein, right? Protein, eat more protein, more fat, more protein. That's how you be healthy, right? But that's not how it works at all. It's the reverse. You actually need more fruits and vegetables, right? That's how it works. High energy foods. But there's more details in other videos, okay? So the environment that you create with your emotions, with your focus, determine the kind of chemical soup that is inside your body emotionally. That actually determines your cells and your gene expression, okay? That means you literally become what you ingest. What you ingest physically via food, right? But also mentally via information and via thoughts. And then you can even say spiritually via, whatever kinds of energies that you're cultivating, what you're focusing on, right? So to tie this all up, it is very wise of you to learn how to cultivate a clean and healthy environment internally. You understand? You gotta clean your house. So recently I learned about this very powerful perspective, so powerful, called Marie Kondo, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Okay, if you haven't checked that out, add that to your list. I'm sure you're taking notes by now, and your list must be fucking 10 pages long because I've been recommending a lot of stuff, okay? So the Marie Kondo method, so powerful. She talks about how to clean your house and tidy it up consciously. Very powerful. Highly recommend this. It's more powerful than you think, okay? So one thing I learned from the life-changing... Wait, 1 sec. Oh, I gotta take these headphones off. Put in my pocket. Wow, I had a point there, but I forgot what it was. 1 second. It all connects. Yeah, so in the same way, when you tidy up your house and you live a clean, conscious life, you make your environment harmonious, then that makes you, which is the cell, right? You're a cell. You're like a cell. And if you have a toxic, cluttered, disgusting environment, then that creates you, right? But there's this interrelationship there. You create external reality, and then external reality creates you, right? So what you need to learn, becoming a conscious creator, becoming a reality creator, you need to learn how to consciously, intentionally, first of all, create your internal reality first, create your state of being first by shifting to the frequency of the wish fulfilled, for example, being the version of yourself that you want to be now, using your imagination, not being a lazy bum. People are like, oh, Adam, I don't know how to visualize. Grow up. Grow up, seriously. I don't know how to visualize. Adam, it's too hard. Are you fucking serious? Try harder. Not try harder. But just pretend you already have what you want. You're you already know how to imagine. Okay, you've been doing it since you're a kid. You do it every night when you go to sleep. You know how to pretend to be something. So just pretend that the thing you want is real. Go into detail. So you want a house. Oh, I love this house. Wow, I love the floors. Oh, they're nice hardwood floors. Oh, beautiful. Oh, what a nice chandelier that I have. Oh, where's my TV? Okay, my TV's right there. I have my game console set up. I have my kitchen, what kind of countertops that I have. It's a sunny day. Oh, wow, my backyard, there's birds chirping. So just get into the details. Spend 20 minutes or something, or 10, 20 minutes just doing that for fun. Get into that, okay? You will actually... Do you want me to keep going? Sometimes people need me to imagine for them, okay? You don't need me to imagine for you, okay? You can do it yourself. You're a creator. Be creative. It's helpful if you raise your energy, right? So it's very helpful if you raise your energy. So I've just given you 20 practices to raise your energy. Eating healthy, like I said on my channel, diet advice playlist. Semen retention. Following your highest passion. Exercising, right? So these are things you can do, okay? Personal development. When you do personal development, eventually at some point you'll realize, oh, okay, so I have some energy now. What should I do with it? Focus your thought and attention energy on something that you want to create and be in it. You can use journaling. You can write about it. I don't like writing about it because it seems it's too cumbersome for me. I just like using my mind. It's easier. And I use the PLAT technique. So use the PLAT technique. I have a video about it, okay? P-L-A-I-T, PLAT. Use that. Very powerful. Okay? Visualize what you want. Then that's how you shift your frequency to the reality that you want, okay? So now you set your frequency. You've shifted timelines. So, okay, now we got to talk about shifting timelines. So, since reality is infinity, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, okay? Reality is infinity. Even on the microscopic level, we understand that reality on the subatomic level is like a possibility space that particularizes itself, that physicalizes itself when you observe it. So when you put your attention on a specific space in the microscopic world, then the electron is either there or it's not there. So it particularizes itself. But when you're not focusing on a specific part of reality, it doesn't render. It's unrealized. It's still part of the alternative space. Okay, so in the same way, when video game creators create a video game world, they've actually invented some very genius techniques so that they can keep the system efficiency of the console that the game is running on. They can minimize resource usage of the game console by rendering only the part of the world that the player character is actually looking at. So all of the world, let's say you have trees and rivers and stuff that are all behind the character, the game intelligently unrenders everything that's behind you. Okay? But then when you turn your camera, right, your view of your character, and you go look at that river that was behind you, then all of a sudden it pops in, and the game loads it back in quickly without you looking. Okay? So it's like that. Okay? So the only part of reality that is physically manifest is literally the part that's right in front of your eyes. Okay? Everything else is a possibility space. What might happen in the future isn't realized yet. There's various potentials. There's infinite potentials of what could happen in the next moment of your life. Okay, so Vadim Zeland, the Russian quantum physicist, he created reality transurfing. So in Tufti the Priestess, he talks about when you wake up in the moment, you stop being a character that's running unconsciously on a script, right? You're just like a zombie sleepwalking through your life. You're like an NPC, right? You think you have free will, you think you're making all these choices and decisions, but if you're asleep in the dream, you're not making any choices or decisions because your attention is fully engrossed and captured by the screen, the actual details of your life. It's like when you're watching a movie at the theaters, your attention is so captured by the plot line that you don't remember that it's even a movie. You forgot it's a movie, so now you're like so engrossed in the film that now the film is almost like sweeping you away. Okay, so this is what happens in your normal life, in your waking life. When you go to work, you're thinking about this and that. So when your attention is sucked into the dream, because you don't have mindfulness, you don't have awareness, you're sleepwalking, right? You have the bad habit of letting your attention automatically get sucked into the details of what's happening out there around you in the outer world, and also what's happening inside you on the inner world. So there's the outer screen and the inner screen. Okay? Tufti tells you to move your attention to the awareness point, which is the point between the two screens. So you have everything outside of you. That's the outer screen. Okay? The inner screen is what's happening inside your mind, like your thoughts, what you're fantasizing about, what you're thinking about, what you're worrying about, etc. So when your attention is sucked into one of those two screens, you fall asleep, and then you become like a character that's running on a script, basically. And you think you have free will, but you don't. The script, your conditioning, is almost like running you. It's almost like in a video game when an NPC character is coded with a specific walking path. Like he's coded to leave his house at 8 a.m. in the game time, and then go to the sawmill, and then saw logs for 7 hours, and then he goes to a specific dungeon, and then he goes home, right? And he has these pre-coded activities that the NPC character does every single day. That's what you become when your attention is not awake. Okay. So in order to consciously create your reality, in order to wake up and remember you're like living in a dream, you're living in a movie, okay? Step one, you have to remember that. So you have to actually work on moving your attention off of the outer screen and the inner screen and keeping it centered in the awareness point, which is between the two screens, okay? So instead of being sucked into the movie, come out into the auditorium and look at the movie. Don't be a character in the movie, look at the movie. Okay, that's mindfulness 101. Then from that point, once you've woken up, now you can shift your attention. You can activate the plat, right, which is like this vestigial sort of structure. It's like it's energy braided cord that's like behind you. It's like the assemblage point from the teachings of Don Juan. Carlos Castaneda. It's like where your soul like meets your body, the assemblage point. It's like right behind your shoulder blades, basically. So when you focus on the assemblage point, you can imagine you have like really long, beautiful hair, right? So focus on your long, beautiful hair, right? And how long and beautiful it is. And then gently, without, you don't have to like strain yourself, just do it gently, okay? Relax. Gently focus on that space about a foot behind your shoulder blades. And then at the same time, visualize the reality that you would like to experience as if it's real now. Okay? So do that for a few minutes. Okay? So pause what you're doing. Activate the plat. And then move. If you can't feel the plat, you don't have to use the plat, but it's helpful, very helpful. You have a whole video guide about it, okay? So now what you've just done is you've shifted your vibrational frequency. You've actually now just shifted timelines. So congratulations, you literally just shifted timelines so that now what's going to happen is that the script is now going to lead you to the fulfillment of the thing you just visualized. Okay? And if it's not that exact thing, it's something similar or even better. Okay? It's similar vibrationally, or it's even better. Okay? So understand what just happened quantumly. Okay? So what you did is you woke up. Okay? You detached yourself from the dream. Hey, buddy. This little doggo's hunting me. Okay. All right, back in the awareness point. Between the two screens. Okay. So when you wake up, you're no longer a victim to outer reality, or you're no longer a victim to your mind. You're now no longer being conditioned by the external world, but you now possess the ability to control reality. This is one of the purposes of being a human being, is that you get to co-create reality with God. Okay? So you, as God, get to use your godly gift, which Neville Goddard calls the wonderful human imagination, right? You can use your wonderful human imagination to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, right? Which in this case, we're using the plat technique to help us. Okay? And now what Vadim Zeland says, which I've experienced, which is extremely powerful, is that now you've shifted film rolls, or you've shifted timelines. So you can imagine reality is infinity, okay? And there's all these different film rolls that are stored in the Eternity Archive, where all the different film rolls are stored, all the different parallel timelines, okay? Right now you're running on a specific film roll, okay? If you want to shift film rolls so that you can consciously be led towards the reality that you want, that you use the plat technique. So that's what we just did, okay? So when you visualize that, you shift to film rolls. Then the new script, which is just the happening of events, is going to now lead you to the realization of the thing that you want, okay? But the reason why this doesn't work for most people is because there's other mental habits that you have that will sort of mess you up. Okay, so you have many bad habits. The first bad habit that you have is the habit of control. You're too controlling. So you insist that everything needs to go your way, and you're too focused on how's it gonna happen. Okay, Adam, great, but how am I gonna make it happen? Okay, I visualized my beautiful partner. Okay, awesome, good. Now how am I gonna make it happen? So Vadim said, whoops. Yeah. Just pause for a second and let that sink in. Think about how much you're like really forcing and fighting and trying to control your reality and make everything happen yourself, okay? So Vadim Zeland says, Tufti says, that you don't actually need to make it happen yourself. You don't need to like stick your monkey hands in there and like actually try to like fight reality and make it happen. What you need to do is you need to learn how to surrender and allow things to unfold naturally. The only force or the only power that you should be exerting is the power of the plat, the power of outer power, he calls it. So when you wake up and you use the plat, what that does is that activates the magical forces of the universe to now organize. You call this the subconscious mind, right? It's by like Dr. Joseph Murphy or whatever. The subconscious mind, you can call it the there's different ideas, you know, like the Holy Spirit or whatever it is, but it works behind the scenes. You don't see it, okay? That then brings you onto the alignment of the timeline of the thing that you want, and instead of fighting and forcing and imposing your own idea of what should happen, oh, if I want to get my partner, okay, that means I need to like go on this dating app and I need to, you know, swipe dates, or I need to like go to the club or this, right? Tufti says no. It's actually best you just follow the script. So compose the reality that you want using the plat. Do this consistently and repeatedly so that you don't fall asleep because you have bad habits, right? So you got to redo your habits. You need to change your habits. You need to like reprogram your mind. Instead of falling asleep, you need to wake up. Instead of letting outer reality control you, you need to control outer reality, not with your hands, but with your plat, with your mind, right? With your frequency. Tune your frequency to the film roll of the one that you want. And you can actually, I know it sounds crazy, but this shit actually works. Okay? I know it sounds nuts. It's just one giant analogy, okay? But it's helpful to think about it. Okay? It's very helpful. You can actually get the thing that you want in your life, and this is like your birthright to know this stuff, okay? So it's very powerful. So you wake up, activate the plat. You compose the forthcoming frame. Compose what's going to happen next. What you want to happen, right? Feel it as if it's real now, like it's the wish fulfilled, right? Connect with it. Okay, then you allow. Instead of trying to control and fight and do everything yourself, just let go. Allow it to unfold. Just let go. Follow the script. Follow the flow. This is what I'm calling follow your highest excitement. That's what Bashar calls it. What Tufti calls it is follow the dictates of power. The dictates of power basically means following your intuition. So outer power is going to like kind of guide you. Going to tell you like the most natural thing to do next. Okay, so I wake up, I visualize with the plat, right? Activate the plat and visualize what I want. Then just follow the next most obvious thing to do after you let go of the visualization. Just relax. Just let it go. Do the next thing, the next most obvious thing. The flow of life is going to lead you to the realization of your desire in an unexpected way, where you might meet someone that you didn't expect to meet that gives you a piece of information that you didn't expect to get. So what Vadim Zeland says is just to almost become like a yes man or a yes woman. This doesn't mean you like let people take advantage of you or you let people like walk all over you, but you should be a little bit more open to receiving people's advice. You should be a little bit more open to receiving information from the outer world, because the outer world, that is now the new film roll. You shifted to a new timeline. I know you can't see it physically because we're talking about the esoteric, which is different from the exoteric. The exoteric is everything you can see physically. That's the manifest realm. That's old news. It already happened. It already manifested. We're looking forward. Tufti says that God designed us to be luminescent creatures, looking forward, manifesting the next frame, co-creating with God. okay? So it's your conception that determines the film roll that you're on, okay? Then you just allow. Visualize what you want. That sets the vector of the flow of the alternative space. Okay? Now the direction that the alternatives flow is going to flow in, the way that the river is going to flow is going to lead you to your goal, but you have to go with the flow. You can't fight. You can't resist, okay? So, for example, you set your new film roll that you're going to become a highly successful professional who's at the top of your field, right? And you visualize it, you enjoy it, right? And you let it go. Now you follow the flow. All of a sudden, the next day you get fired from your job. What? You know, so now your bad habit is to get angry. You get scared, you get pissed off when something bad happens, you get angry. Oh fuck, oh no, that's not good. I lost my job, fuck. Let me try to get it back, right? You know, it's like fighting, right? But what Tufty is telling you, what Vadim Zealand is saying, is allow. Trust that there's an advantage in that. Something negative happened, that's actually the script that's like cleaning out your old reality so that the new thing that you just visualized can have space to enter in. But if you focus your attention on how bad it is that you lost your job, oh no, right? And you're not using the advantage principle, what can unwittingly happen if you're unconscious is that you might switch back to the old self. And that's what you've been doing, basically. You then switch back to the old film roll of, fuck, why doesn't anything go my way? Why don't I have what I want? So what I just fell. What Tufty's telling you, excuse me, is that you have very poor mental habits that basically prevent you from controlling reality. You're like a snail, she calls it, where you react in such a knee-jerk kind of way. Something bad happens, and then you just knee-jerk. In the same when you touch a snail, it just like retracts its horns like instantly, right? There's no thought. It's like, so that's you. You're a snail. You behave like in this knee-jerk, reactive, like animalistic kind of way. So what Tufty's actually teaching you to do, it takes many years to like actually use these principles. You can, if you focus, you can probably learn them pretty well in a few months, right? Don't let me tell you it's going to take years, but you keep forgetting, then if you don't use it, then it won't work. You got to stay consistent. And it's not just me who's used Tufty's teachings to like, get more clients in my business, or manifest the laptop that I want to have, or to have the relationship that I want to have, or create the kind of videos that I want to create, etc. It's not just me, there's many other people who use these principles. Oh shit, I'm out of breath. Alright, so that was kind of like a nice little summary. If you continue that, right, you can use another technique like the method acting principle. You actually play the role. Like you actually pretend to be the person you want to be. And you play the role convincingly. Don't half-ass the role. You gotta actually brush your teeth like the version of yourself that you want to be. You have to wipe your ass like the version of yourself that you want to be. Okay? You gotta play video games like the version of yourself that you want. Everything. Be detail-oriented. When Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm gonna say Da Vinci, when Leonardo DiCaprio is playing a role for his film, and he has to get in character, right? You watch Leonardo DiCaprio, he's such an amazing fucking actor, and what sells the character is the details, the little details. You feel like he actually is that character. Like I'm thinking of the slave trader from Django Unchained, right? Such a good movie. If you've never watched Django Unchained, treat yourself. It's a really good movie. Leonardo DiCaprio is playing the slave trader, right? Such a convincing role. You actually believe he is that person because it's the little details that sell it, the little tiny details. So in your own life, when you're playing your role, right, of the person, the version of yourself you want to be, you need to habitually and consistently wake up, remember where you are. You're in a film. You're in a film. Reality's like a mirror, okay? It will mirror your energy. So there's two ways that reality is. Number one, it's a film, okay? And you can compose the forthcoming frame in the way that we described, okay? If you wake up and remember frequently and consistently enough, what you do frequently determines your frequency, okay? You gotta remember that. Don't forget, you gotta remember. You might need some guidance, right? Look at Tufty, or I'll help you. I have a system as well that includes more than just Tufty. Okay? Also, reality is like a mirror. So the energy that you sort of embody gets reflected back to you. Now, also, another important principle is instead of only focusing on what you can get, instead of only focusing on what can I manifest, what am I gonna get, what's in it for me, okay, that's fine, that's step one, okay, but then step two is you have to then give to other people, give, because what you put out is what you get back. So instead of only focusing on how can I manifest the reality I want, think about how can I help other people in manifesting the reality they want, either by providing them a service. You don't have to be like a manifestation coach or anything like this, but like think about like when you're running your business, think about how can you help the client actualize their dreams in whatever you do. Let's say you're doing laser hair removal or something, okay? In your marketing material, let's say you want to get more clients. So instead of just focusing on how can I get more clients, that's good, you can start there. But then think about how can I give to my clients? How can I make their experience better? How can I put myself in their shoes and help them fulfill their self-realization? How can I make them feel special? How can I make them feel like they're gonna achieve their goals? How can I make them feel important? How can I pay attention to them? How can I make it so that they feel better about themselves, so that they can make more money in their lives and so forth? See what I mean? So since reality is a mirror, I want you to do this as an experiment. If you have a mirror in your house, when you get the chance, go stand in front of the mirror and actually go to like give to the mirror, like extend your arm out. In Buddhism, there's a lot of this sort of visualization where you do a lot of work like visualizing yourself, making offerings. A lot of different religions have this. The practice of offering, not only taking, giving. Right, so go stand in front of a mirror and offer something to the mirror. What happens? What does the mirror do? The reflection. When you extend your arm to the mirror, it gives back to you. Comprendo? The mirror meets you halfway. All right? So we're running a little bit low on battery, guys. So I think that's a good way to wrap it up. Okay, so there's some more principles. I can't cover them all tonight. My phone's out of battery, so we'll be back soon with more principles. So my goal here on this channel, I want to actually help you create your desired reality. Extremely excited about that, okay? I would love if we worked together closely in a more like intimate kind of way where like we can text and literally you can ask me questions personally, right? I would love if we did that, and I have clients that I do that with and I build deep relationships with, and they get great results. Like within a year, like massive transformations in their spirituality, their happiness, in their business, and even their sex life, their relationships. You know, I had a client who's like having better sex with his wife because like we talked about semen retention, we talked about being a better version of yourself, etc. Okay, so if you want to work with me like mentorship, I would love to work with you and help you with that. In addition, okay, I also just want to help you for free. On these videos, I want to help you create the reality that you desire. I'm really excited about helping you fulfill your fullest potential on planet Earth, okay? I want to help you actualize your fullest passion, your fullest love, your fullest self, your most aware, most awake, most fun, most authentic, most real self. There's many techniques, okay? I'm gonna try my best to share them on the videos, okay? If you'd like to work with me, that's probably faster because there's a lot of stuff that I can share for your specific situation, okay? So if you want to see if that's a right fit for you, just DM me on Instagram, okay? I found that's a very easy way. Everything's just so easy, you know. It's low commitment for you. It's low commitment for me. Just like send me a text. Hey, Adam, watch your video. Awesome. You know, like, can you help me with manifesting this new house? Can you help me with manifesting this partner or this whatever, right? It's just we'll chat. We'll text about it, okay? Like, it's not like there's no giant commitment. I actually help people for free. If you want to work deeper, we can talk about that as well, okay? But yeah, okay, so I'm really excited about that. Let's chat. Otherwise, stay tuned. I got some awesome resources for you in the description. My book list, got some other, like my blog, right, on Substack for now. All right, so I've got some great stuff, all with the point of helping you to manifest your desired reality. I'm trying to give you information to help you manifest your desired reality. Use the information. Please use it. It'll work. I want you to see it work in yourself. Okay, use it. It'll work. I gave you book recommendations. I gave you everything. Okay, use it. You can get what you want. You can become a conscious creator of your reality. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more. I love you. Okay, bye.